Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to attend today's webinar, during which we'll be speaking with a customer of ours, WP Valet, about how they have grown their business since moving to Desk.com and the Salesforce1 platform. We have a great session today, so let's not waste any time and get started here. I'd like to first introduce our guest here today, speaking on behalf of WP Valet, Eric Hoanshelt, who is a CTO at WP Valet. You can follow him at Hoanshelt. Thanks for joining us, Eric.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Appreciate you guys on the webinar.
Yeah, absolutely. And my name is Kevin Baldacci. I'm the product marketing manager here at Desk.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Kevin Baldacci. We like to keep our webinars short and sweet, where our agenda today will only take about 30 minutes or so. In a moment, I'll give you a brief introduction to Salesforce.com, the evolution of service, and the importance of becoming a customer company today. Then we'll be speaking with WP Valet, the WordPress maintenance, support, and development services, about how they grew their business using Desk.com and Salesforce. We'll have a few minutes to open the floor for some Q&A, and then I'd like to bring on our product manager, Brooke Lane, to show you a new functionality that we are very, very excited about, Desk.com's new Business Insights, which is available today. Before I begin, I'd like to remind you all that Salesforce.com is a publicly held company trading under the symbol CRM on the New York Stock Exchange. This is our safe harbor statement, which if you cannot read, you can find on our website. Any purchasing decisions you make should be made based on currently available technology. Again, you can find the safe harbor on our website. So let's not waste any time here. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in today's industry and everything. We're living in an absolutely incredible new world of amazing technologies. And with the rise of these innovative products comes the demand for a different kind of service, and that's a one-to-one relationship between customers and companies. Customers no longer want snail mail or waiting in line for phone support. They want a one-to-one customer experience, a seamless, fast, personalized experience. This is a very, very powerful shift with the one-to-one relationship between the customer and the company. You can never forget that behind every tweet, email, or phone call is a customer that is willing to help you grow your business. And that's something that we like to call being a customer company. So here's the deal. Every company is in transformation. We all have to become customer companies. We must transform to connect with our customers in a whole new way across multiple channels. Companies are making efforts to make every interaction as personal and as easy as possible. Let's take a look, for example, at Amazon's Mayday button. That in itself is a one-to-one customer-to-company relationship. You're using the product and you're able to immediately connect with support. The other day I was watching the news and I heard this incredible new product where scientists are developing technology where if you buy a raw food, such as chicken or steak or something like that from the supermarket, you can take it home, put it in the refrigerator, and you will receive a text message saying that your food is going bad after a couple days. That is an incredible, incredible new technology. And also in a moment we're going to talk to Eric from WP Valet and hear the amazing new things that they're doing with their company and how they're basically putting together a one-to-one customer-to-company relationship. It's absolutely amazing. And it's really important that you become a customer company as well because other people are doing it. If you don't work to build that one-to-one relationship, somebody else is going to move in there. And that's the kind of thing that customers are craving these days. And you can't do that all on a fragmented system of channels and everything. You have to do it on one platform, specifically the Salesforce1 platform. Salesforce companies have responded to our offerings with lots of enthusiasm. Our customers and their success propelled us to be the world's #1 CRM and #1 enterprise cloud computing vendor, according to IDC and Gartner. And while we're excited about our business momentum, our ongoing focus is grounded on a firm commitment to innovation and leadership to help you become a customer company. This is why, in addition to being pleased with the industry and analyst recognition from IDC and Gartner, we're particularly excited to be cited by Forbes magazine as the world's most innovative company for 3 years in a row. Absolutely, absolutely amazing stuff. And now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Desk.com. At Desk.com, we are dedicated to providing fast-growing companies with an all-in-one customer support app that is right out of the box. What do you get with Desk.com? Well, here's a couple things. You get simple setup with absolutely no IT required. In a recent survey we had, more than 60% of our customers said it only took them 1 to 3 days to fully deploy Desk.com across organizations. That is absolutely amazing stuff. You also get intuitive and fast multi-channel support. Our customers love us because they can build their own fully customizable self-service support site without any hard CSS or any IT work. The content editor for building your knowledge base is very, very simple. It's more like kind of like a WordPress maintenance site. And what you also get is in-depth analytics, which is native and easily customizable. We're going to have Brooke Lane kind of go over that so you can get an in-depth look at some of that. And finally, we're mobile. So you can access Desk.com anytime, anywhere. Finally, of course, Desk.com operates on the Salesforce1 platform where organizations can easily get a full 360-degree view of the customers, all from one central location. So I'd like to bring out on our guest Eric Hoanshelt, where he is going to talk a little bit about WP Valet and how they've been doing an incredible job growing their business through amazing fast customer support using Desk.com. Eric, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today, Kevin?
I'm doing very well. This is going to be a great webinar. I'm really excited to talk to you a little bit about what you guys are doing because I think you guys have an absolutely incredible story. So let's get into it. Yeah, absolutely. So why don't you go ahead and talk to the audience a little bit about who is WP Valet exactly?
Well, WP Valet started about a little under 2 years ago. We provide WordPress maintenance, support, and development. It started off with just me, and actually Jason James, he brought me on as a co-founder and to kind of build this business up. And so since the past 2 years, we've moved from 2 employees now to about, I think, 17. We're up to our 18th one on this week. And so, yeah, we're just getting a lot of explosive growth. There's a lot of interest around the new WordPress community at that point. There's a new service that's been introduced in the past, 6 months now. So we're getting a lot of excitement and a lot of growth right now. So, yeah, basically our primary product support, though, is being customer-facing and make sure that our customers are happy.
Fantastic stuff. So, I mean, the whole purpose of this webinar is to really give people an in-depth look about how you guys are providing amazing customer service to your customers and your users. So, I mean, what exactly is WP Valet's customer service philosophy, and how important is it to your company?
Well, it's very important. 1/3 of our business right now is all support. It's basically how does our clients interact and like how we're treating them at that point. They come to us with questions, we need to be able to answer them. Unlike there's other companies out there, if you do like GoDaddy, for example, their main product is hosting, domain name. Sometimes they never even hear from the customer. Well, we hear from our customers on a day-to-day basis, and we need to make sure that we're constantly offering awesome support in order for them to then promote us at that point. And so our philosophies are, written knowledge is power. Someone's knowledge in their brain is helpful to them, but it's not helpful to the team or the company sense, because if something happens to them, if they leave or anything else happens, we've lost that knowledge at that point. So making sure that you have documented knowledge and able to easily access that is one big major enhancement that we're going into our company at that point. And also customer training is just as important as agent training. A lot of people want to skip the idea of make sure your customers know how to actually get in contact with you and actually be able to write a ticket, be able to have a conversation with you in the correct manner. A lot of people add details that maybe aren't necessary to a ticket, and that just takes a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, and actually kind of steers away from actually offering great support at that point. So when we have a welcome email, for example, that for any of our clients that join us, like a little tutorial there that shows them, how to write a proper ticket, information actually needed for every ticket and for us to actually something good with it, and things along those lines. And we're also offering some awesome beta testing that we're doing that we'll go into a little bit later in the webinar that we're doing to help our customers get in contact with us in the best way possible.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, now, did this philosophy that WP Valet has, did that spawn from the very moment that you guys put together the company, or did this kind of philosophy grow and form over time, do you think, the more that you started to interact with customers?
It grew over time. Like basically having the analytics you guys provide us really helped us turn, how fast we're really responding and stuff, what's the first time response rate we're having. And it just seemed like those were way longer than we wanted them to be, taking too much time because after looking into it, there's a lot of need for detail. So when we first started, we were fine with however someone submitted a ticket or how anyone talked to us at that point. But as we got, interaction with our clients, seeing exactly what information we needed, we then started to fine tune that process. And the insight analytics guys gave us, and we saw, some improvement over time.
Fantastic. So, I mean, like a lot of other companies, you don't start off with a customer support solution typically. So when did you first realize that you needed a customer support solution, and what were you looking for as you started to consider your options? So kind of like, what was that aha moment that you needed something to help you provide better customer support?
The aha moment was when we hired our third person. When it was just me and Mason at first, it wasn't great in order to just do email collaboration because sometimes I would get an email that he'd be aware of, and then, in order for me to be aware of that, I have to forward the email, or, it just got really, really messy at that point. And so when we hired our third person, we saw that it was really hard to share or get them into like the loop of what current products we're in, what current support tickets we're in. So at that point, we're like, we need to have something that gives everyone access to the tickets that we're doing so that they can jump in easily, they can see what's going on. On top of that, if we need to have someone else come in, then at that point, we just assign it over to them. We're doing email forwarding. Just to mention, we're completely virtual, so there's no center, headquarters for us. We are ranging from Florida all the way to California, over to the UK, Germany, Russia, and so having this email system in place to remember time zones, things like that, just wasn't really effective for us. And so we need a way to get into a customer support solution. The big thing we're looking for is automation. I think with automation, being able to use technology to help us figure out what the actual problem is and not relying on possibly human error or a human story at that point, become really handy for us with business rules, with filters, with macros that you guys offer. All those things helped us to be able to deliver a much better customer experience. And at the end, even though a robot, but a computer was figuring out what needs to happen, so still offering great service. Our customers were getting fast service, and they were getting responses within the same day sometimes, and solutions at that point. So they were really happy with that. And also, we need to follow reports. Like I mentioned before, we need reports to look in order to actually pinpoint where our bottlenecks are, why our time responses were starting to be latent, have latency there at that point, why weren't things resolved as quick as we wanted them to. If we didn't have reports at that point or something easy to follow, we would have never found that information, and we probably wouldn't have grown as large as we have at this moment. So those are the big components that we were looking for when going into a customer support solution.
Excellent. Now, really quickly, you switched from an old customer support solution at Desk.com, and I'm curious, and I think the audience is curious as well. Why did you switch to Desk.com, and how was the transition moving from your old solution to Desk.com?
One of the reasons that was the kind of push the move was the automation tools. The rules that you guys have for your system are far superior than anything I've seen so far. For example, you have rules to just execute when a case is opened, when a case is pending, when a case is new, when there's time rules. There's a whole bunch of other type of rules that you can do and really fine-tune exactly what you want to trigger at that point when it matches certain criteria of the ticket. And that was awesome. That was something that blew my mind. And then with all the integration apps that you have that help us communicate with our third-party systems, was basically what sold us. Another thing that's really small, but I appreciated about Desk was the terminology you guys use. Our old system that we had was using more of a branded terminology for everything. So it was hard for me to be able to, communicate the way I think over to the way their branding is set up. Where on Desk.com, it's really easy to understand what a filter does. It's really easy to understand what a rule does, and it's really easy to understand what a macro does. So that was something that I really liked. Was just the terminology was really easy to get into. There's a small learning curve. I can get into it really quickly. And the transition was very, very easy. The simple fact of the matter was we contacted you guys, and in 3 days, you guys got all of our tickets over to the new system, from our old system, and yeah, that was all I had to say. It was 3 days, and I didn't do anything with that other than just give you access to our old system. So I was really happy about that because that let me go focus on something else at that point.
Yeah, we're really happy. We're really proud of our customer wow team. They do a fantastic job with onboarding new Desk.com customers and everything. They take that to heart and everything, so it's really fantastic to hear they had a great experience.
Awesome. Just to mention on the slide, there was the point of the email part. I think it just reminded me of something. With the Flex agents, we're constantly having to pull in new talent when we're growing so large. So with the Flex agent, it's easy for us to scale at that point because we invest in a year's worth of payments or anything like that. We can give them a testing period of about a month at that point. We can see how well they're doing. On top of that, so far as we've grown 550% with all the new revenue coming in and all the new clientele. The support team itself has only went from 2 to 4 people. So we are 5 people now. So we've only grown about 200% in our cost, and that's because of the automation you guys offer. So I thought that would be some interesting facts to send out to everybody.
Fantastic. Yeah. So recently you conducted a customer survey with us, or excuse me, a customer story with us. And in the meantime, we discovered you guys discovered some really amazing stuff that Desk.com helped you with. And one of that was you improved your response rate by 63%, and also you're able to resolve 52% more cases on the first customer interaction. I mean, it's absolutely incredible stuff, and I think everybody is really curious to know, how are you able to do that with Desk.com?
Well, Desk.com API is pretty intuitive, and for people that aren't technical savvy much, an API is basically an application programming interface. So basically, your third-party system, whatever systems you're on now, can communicate with .com in a very easy fashion. And so we have what's in super beta right now, but we're actually beta testing it with some of our clients, is basically it's a get to the point button here. And just giving you an example of what we use it for performance is when someone's site's slow, there's many reasons why a site for work can be slow. It could be their internet connection, it could be the server, it could be a plugin that they installed, a theme they installed, it could be different things. What we're doing now is giving them just a simple to click button that gives us all the information we need without them actually saying one word. They just click it, it says thanks for sending us a ticket, we're looking into it now, and that's it. Now, if before we had this interface in place, what happened is the person would contact us, they'll tell us this big long story about how they're on the road and they're accessing the site online through their phone, they're on 2G network, their mom's sick, and all this other stuff. We don't really necessarily need to read in order to get a response rate to them and resolved, which is what they want. So with this process of actually creating a ticket for them, knowing the basic thought process of what they want to communicate with us, we were able to develop this API to get to the point. And that really increased our response rate for our beta testing and our resolve rates. Also, getting the testing for, or not the testing, but the training for our customers and how to put in a proper ticket, what information we need to know. That's really helped with response rates and resolve times. Automation with rules to get the ticket to the right person at the right group at that point. Sometimes if you don't have the rules in place, maybe asking a sales question and it's going to support, well, at that point, they at least respond and say, hey, we got the ticket, but that's not a first-time interaction being solved. So using automation in order to get the ticket to the right place, and the use of the knowledge base. You can make knowledge base items public for your users to see. So common issues that happen as issues start to grow and you're talking to your support team, they're saying we're getting this response or this question more and more. You can get to the knowledge base, and then then the public of your customers or customer base then has that answer that they can solve on their own. So either way, they're happy because the end result is that they got their question answered and the issue resolved. So that is how we increase our customers happy with our support.
That's fantastic. I mean, absolutely fantastic. So let's move on to one of the final questions here. And I'm getting a lot of people that are asking questions about how has this amazing customer service actually helped your business grow? And as we noticed, noticed in the earlier slide, Desk.com has helped WP Valet grow their business by 550%. And we'd like to know, how has Desk.com helped you grow your business by 550%? And how do you plan on using Desk.com to grow even further in the future?
Well, offering really good support in this one-on-one customer relationship, it really wow your clients, your customers have no problem helping you out. Like before, a customer is there to help you whether they know it or not. When you make them impress you guys, they want to tell people about it. And our big marketing is through word of mouth, Facebooks, and LinkedIn at that point. And to be completely honest with you, this is kind of an internal stat that we have. We're about to spend our first $1,000 on marketing for the first time in the past 2 years. Desktop, I don't really consider marketing. I consider more of support, but we're going to be investing into campaigns and stuff like that for the first time, and we're going to be expecting massive at that point. But to actually get 550% growth without any marketing tactics in and things like that, and just do word of mouth is amazing. Desk.com has helped us with that, just by helping us deliver, give us the tools in order to make things automated and get our people very happy, our customers very happy. So in the future, we want to try to get multi-channel support linked up. We have it linked up now, but with the use of the API, I want to be able to use the multi-channel support more to track the word of mouth. We're actually going to be releasing an internal program where basically if a support agent gets one of our customers to say something on Twitter that's awesome about us or any of the social networks, we want to give them an incentive at that point. But we need to be able to track that somehow. So that's what we're currently working on after we get our little beta help buttons and stuff like that all released. So that's going to be exciting to be able to track the word of mouth at that point.
Fantastic. So we're actually going to move on to some Q&A because we've got some absolutely some incredible questions here really quick.
Yep.
So as I'm going through Q&A right now, I see a couple of interesting questions, and one of them was, how did this idea of using Desk.com's API to provide a get to the point button really spawn? Was that your idea? Were you guys sitting around and talking about what's a better way to provide faster customer service, and this idea came to mind, or how did this idea all come to light?
Basically, I'm going to say that the idea actually came from the Amazon Mayday button. But instead of, I'm a very technical guy. That's what I basically get paid for, just to think technically all day, every day. And so when me and Mason first heard that Amazon Mayday button, we're like, well, is there a way that we can do that? Now we don't have to use Amazon, of course, so we can't have live interaction of people doing video chat and talking like that. At that point, because of our size, we're not going to be able to scale that very easily. And so what could we do? And that's what actually got us looking into the Mayday button. I don't want to say Mayday button, but the submit at that point, because we knew exact information we needed to do it. Being a technical agency, we know exactly what we need in order to answer a question when it comes to slow performances. So that's where it came from. It's like the Amazon Mayday button kind of sparked it, but then we just kind of put our own twist on it and make sure that the doing the work instead of a person, and then just submitting that to a person to then figure out. So I guess that's the best answer I can give you right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Well, for everybody in the audience, if you're interested in WP Valet, check them out at WPValet.com and look for this new absolutely incredible feature here, because it's still in beta. I actually have one more question before I let you go here, Eric. And this gentleman is just starting out, has a brand new company, and he was asking for, what's one piece of advice that you have for us that want to become a customer company such as yourself?
I would say that the biggest piece of advice I could give anyone that wants to be a customer-facing company or a customer-based company is training your customer in order to give you the proper responses. Based on what your niche is, I don't know what your niche is at that point and things like that, but training your customers on how to communicate with you, because you're going to be dealing with people from different backgrounds, different education levels. You're going to be different with so many different people that it's hard to be able to scale customer service because of that. There's going to be a ton of different options you can go for when answering different based on how they're mentioning or how they're the ticket. But training your customers on how to submit a proper ticket order for you to understand what you need is one of the biggest things I could think of at that point. Always keep scalability in mind. A lot of people think that when you grow your business, you need to grow your expensive labor force. It's not true. If you can use a system like Desk.com to your advantage and Salesforce and connect them all together, if you can use it to your advantage, be able to store information based on customer history and things along those lines, you'll be able to scale your support a lot easier at that point. So keep scalability in mind, and you're going to make a decision. Think about, can I do the same thing easily if I have 1,000 customers and not just 5 customers at this moment? And that will really help your business grow much more easily. It's easier to fix those kind of issues that are popping up of scalability when you're small than when you're already large and already in it at that point. So training your customers how to submit a ticket, and always think about scalability.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Eric. And with that, we're going to go ahead and let you go. But we really appreciate you taking the time to jump on the call with us and explain to everybody how well you guys are doing, how you grew your business with Desk.com. I wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep. Take care.
You do. Bye.
So just with that, customers such as WP Valet are seeing some incredible advancements in their support as well as their company, thanks to Desk.com. Recently, we put together a survey for all of our customers, and we saw some incredible results from that. 27% decrease in support costs, 34% faster case resolution time, 38% increase in agent productivity, and 42% faster responses to customers. These are absolutely incredible numbers here, and all of those equal out to 36% increase in their customer satisfaction. Satisfying your customers and building customer service as a competitive advantage is how you guys are going to grow your company, and further developing that one-to-one relationship is how you're going to grow your business and become successful. And so with that, we'd like to get into a new product that we have, introducing Business Insights V3, which is built-in, customizable, and 4 times faster than ever. And with that, I'd like to bring on our product manager, Brooke Lane here.
Good morning, good afternoon, Kevin. So we'll show some screenshots of the Business Insights, which is kind of interesting because it doesn't quite do justice to how interesting and captivating the Business Insights are, but I hope it gives you a good idea of the types of reports and reporting that you can do with Business Insights. So with Business Insights, we really focused on 2 areas, 2 kind of functional areas that you want to have as a business owner. One is being able to manage your contact organization, whether that's 1 person or a team of 50. And secondly, is to really understand the dynamics within your product and your process and your business so that you can continually improve upon things from feedback from the customers. So what you're looking at here is the overview report. So this is a very nice time-based report that gives you some insight into what's been going on with your business over the last, in this case, 7 days. And so we have a lot of different functionality in here. You can change the date range from 7 days to yesterday, or to the last 30 days, the last 90 days. You can look at your metrics by day or by week or by hour. And then you can do a lot of interesting things. If you look across the top, you'll see a bunch of little colored buttons. Those are segments. And what we enable you to do is to click on and off those things, so you can look just at your phone cases or just at your email, just at your chat cases, or any combination of those. And then with the table down below, which contains the data, you actually have a ton of really relevant metrics like average handle time and time to first response and inbound interactions or outbound interactions. And what you can do too is you can click on any of the column headers in that table and change to a graph of that metric. So again, it gives you a lot of ability to kind of switch around, to click on different things, to explore different areas of your business. And then for each of these reports, once you get this configured the way you want, I want to see this report for the last 30 days by week, and I want to be graphing the average handle time, then I can go in, take that report, and go in and save it, and have that report 1 click away anytime I want it. The other thing we allow you to do is to grab that report as a URL, send it to another user so that that user can open that exact same report and be on the same conversation with you on the data that they're looking at. So let's go to the next report. The next report, and again, the idea behind this business insights is really kind of peeling back the layers of your organization to understand how things are working. This is the groups report. So if you've got groups set up within Desk, you can use this report to track the performance of those groups of individuals. And then you can navigate from this to the next slide, which is the agents report. Again, by clicking on any of the groups, you'll go to the agents report, filtered for just the agents in that group. And here you can see the individual agents' performance, as we did with the group's performance, along the same metrics. And what we have too in this view is the ability to click on one of those agents and bring up detail about that agent. So looking at their metrics, looking at their performance, and looking at the tickets that they actually worked on within the time period that you've specified. And this is really nice. So this really facilitates that kind of one-on-one interaction between a manager and an agent to say, how are we performing? And again, because these columns are clickable and sortable, either in ascending or descending order, you might literally have a situation where you sit down with an agent, click on the average handle time metric, and start looking. Maybe they've done 60 cases in the week. You might find that there are 4 or 5 cases that have high handle times, and you start clicking on those cases and opening those cases in the Desk.com agent, and now you can say, was the issue with these high handle times due to the product, due to the agent, due to training, due to process within the organization? And if you can really dig down on those types of things, you'll really gain some great insight into the operations of your business. So moving from there, we can go to a slide which shows a custom fields report. Again, custom fields and labels in Desk are really important and meaningful ways to add classifications and organization into your contact center environment. So the custom fields report shows simply the custom field values that you've used throughout your cases in Desk and which ones you've used more and not. We have filtering functionality in the custom fields report, which allows you to filter down that information to look at very specific areas. So let's say you're talking to a product manager on your mobile team. You can filter for those mobile cases to really look deeply into those. And filtering allows you to do that. The next slide actually shows a filtered view. It may be a little hard to see on the slide, but you can look across the top, and next to those colored buttons that showed the segments in previous reports, we actually have an applied filters, and then show the filters across the top of the screen that we've applied, again, informing us of the way that we've filtered this report, keeping the information surfaced for you. And then finally, we're showing a report that we're launching in the next week or 10 days, and that's a macros report. And macros too are a process efficiency tool within Desk. It allows you to take a number of actions on a ticket with one click. And so it's very important for you to understand how those macros are being used within your organization. If they're being used a lot, there's you assume to be a lot of efficiency gains. If they're not being used a lot, then maybe there's an issue with them, or maybe there's an issue with people not understanding how effective they can be. And so you can utilize this macros report to drill down on the macros that you've used.
Awesome. Thanks, Brooke. I really appreciate you showing us business insights. It's absolutely great stuff there.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Yeah, and so just a reminder to everybody that all of this is available on Desk.com. If you log on to Desk.com and sign up for a free trial, you'll be able to access the new Business Insights, which is just an incredible new product. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us for today's webinar, and wish you all a very pleasant day.